Hello, everybody. Getting my stuff set up here. Microphone decided to sync just as I was talking into it. You can't hear me? You should be able to hear me. I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, you might not be able to hear me, but I think everyone else can. All right. Yeah. It is Indie Volt's birthday. Indie Volt's long awaited birthday. 3 years we've been doing Indie Volt. IndieVolt.com, the website. And we're going to go through a little bit of that history today, talk about what we've done. It's the 4th. I know, most people with their families, and that's fine. You can watch this later. But so Eric Hodson's going to be joining us. Hopefully a few other people who, been on the Indie Volt live show, and people who have been on, just come around and been around associating with Indie Volt for the past couple of years, or the past 3 years, will pop in to say hi. And so we're going to do. We're not going to be here long. Just a marker of what today is. Indie Volt was started on July 4th, 2017. I bought the site before that, but yeah, I didn't go. And actually, the site had been set up for about 4 days before I went live with it. 4 or 5 days. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But it's been 3 years. We're here. Gonna bring Eric in. Eric's in the chat. And hello, Eric.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Just got I had to start because how they StreamYard will tell you need to start quickly.
Yeah, my apologies. Our show Broke Money Hustle, which you can listen to on Indie Volt Network, ran late, and so I apologize for being late. It was TJ's fault. He showed up late.
No problem. I prepared for such a thing. So
awesome. So tell me what I missed, because we were going to do an interview show, and I want to take people through kind of the genesis of Indie Volt and where you see, kind of go through that. So what have you already covered so far?
Nothing. I just started about 3 minutes ago.
All right. Well, cool. Sounds great. Now, 3 years ago, July 4th, is there any significance to starting the company on July 4th?
There is. I want to bring our pictures up. Hold on one second. All right. Yeah. The significance was that Independence Day figured indie comics. That was funny to me. So that was the significance of it. Plus, it just so happened to be July when I had everything ready and set. And I'm like, you know what? Because I mentioned a little before you came on, I had purchased a site before July. I purchased a site, the site name, the domain, probably in May and early May, and wanted to do it, but just kept putting it off. And slowly things started getting put together. You know how it is with artists. We're up late at night and drawing, and then going to the computer, doing some coding and back and forth. And then finally I got to the point where I was like, I could launch this website. And it was probably like June 28th. And I had 4 stories that I launched with, but I put it behind a under construction wall. So no one could see it. And I had that wall set to expire on July 4th. So that was it. That was just Independence Day, July 4th. It's just like, it always worked out well for Will Smith. All his movies used to come out July 4th weekend. So I figured, why not?
Yeah, because usually it's a great weekend to go to the movies, and I can't wait to go to the movies again. We were just talking in Broke Money Hustle, because Trike is thinking about getting into AMC theater stock, which I own a lot of that, and it's one of those things. It's like I get giddy as a kid to go to the movies, and And so I can definitely see why a big star like that would want to have his movies coming out on July 4th, because it's a great weekend to go to the movies.
Yeah, July 4th. I mean, in the 90s and early 2000s was Will Smith weekend.
Yeah.
You knew he had a movie coming out that weekend, and you better not put a movie out because it wasn't gonna do well. And then he made some movies.
I see Glenn Ford in the comments saying hi.
Oh, hey Glenn, I didn't have the comments up there. Glenn, hey, how's it going? Good morning. Good, happy 4th of July to you.
So I'm sure we have a good number of people who are probably listening already, and we were very happy to have you with us. Again, we are celebrating the third anniversary of Indie Vault, which was launched on July 4th, 3 years ago. Now, take us back to the genesis of this, because you were a comic book creator.
Yeah.
Last Call Comics, you had Unlimited Psycho before that. Where and when, what made you decide to kind of dip your toes into the journalism side of comics?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. I do know that I thought, okay, I remember a friend of mine had taken his book, and he had a packet of his book, and he was trying to give them to companies. And I would watch, and this happens. People come to your table at a con. Hey, I work for this blog. I work for that blog. I work for this website. And I remember him sending physical copies off to companies, like finding their address. Could you read my book, please? And putting these in the mail. And I remember thinking, like, man, he's just not getting. He wasn't getting the return on investment. that ROI.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting it at all. No one was reaching out to him, and very little. And the responses he was getting were not, it's like investing. It comes back to investing. You put down some money, you hope for a return, and that return was low, and it was constantly low. And so I just felt like maybe I could do something that'll, even if it's not what grows, maybe it'll spark, the change that we need, and focusing on indie comics. Now, I've said this before. I had no idea, zero idea that anybody else was doing it, because at this point I lived in a little bubble. I had no idea about Indie Advocates, which is Rob Anderson's site. No idea. And so it was interesting. I found out about Indie Advocates about, I think, a month later, after I launched Indie Vault, and then I met Rob, and it was funny because people were like, you guys are competitors, and it never was a competition thing with us. It never was a us against them, which I know certain websites have that. We never did that. I still like scooping them on stories. That's pretty cool. But,
what has been what's your proudest moment in scooping somebody on a story?
Oh man, there's been so many. No, I think that I really liked. I'm trying to. I do like the fact that we did the sick brick thing. Oh, I tell you my proudest moment. My proudest moment actually came a little bit after the site started, when forget who it was. I think it may have been Josh, one from Source Point. It was Source Point press staff. They were in a hotel room, and the hotel room was filled with roaches. That story is on IndieVault.com, and the hotel room was filled with roaches and insects. And they posted it to Facebook. No one else did. And I grabbed the content and reached out. Can I post this? And they're like, sure. And I ran that story down. Like, I called the hotel. I called corporate. Like, hey, you got, people sleeping in roach-filled hotel rooms. Because, as artists, we traveled a lot.
Sure.
And so it was really cool to, that was like, for some reason, that story was important to me because we travel. We go to hotel rooms. In fact, I think that we probably spend more time in hotel rooms than we do at the cons because we're traveling.
Yeah, sure. You get tired. You don't want to go out and party with the young kids. So it's just like, the hotel's nice.
Yeah. So that was like one of the proudest moments, especially because the guy at the front desk cussed me out. Which is when I knew I had something. I knew I got something here.
You're a true journalist when the thing you're going after cusses you out, I guess.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about, you know, what kind of stories you look for. What is the goal for the indie? Well, we're just talking about the website right now because it started with the website, correct? You didn't have all this other stuff before.
Yeah,
the
didn't
website.
have any of that. Yeah.
So, what were some of the reaches and some of the stories that you were really trying to go for? What are the things that you wanted to cover the most?
You know, it was really hard because mission creep is, you know, embedded in my DNA. So it's like I'm gonna start one thing, and it's like, oh, we can do that too. I really want to do. One of the great struggles I've had is making sure we're not too inside baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to be an industry website. And I fight hard for it not to become an industry website, where you start pulling back the curtain of how the sausage is made. And I didn't want to do that. So I really wanted to create something like a wizard, you know, world used to be. You know, you could come read about the books, interviews with the creators. And that was the type of stories. And I still go for those type of stories. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for the clicks, the industry's been, over the last 3 years, has been kind of, you know, entangled in drama and turmoil, and it's always been there, but now it's like at a, I don't want to say fever pitch, but it's you know, it's filled. So it's funny because the good stories get kind of hard to, you know, the stories that I want to cover are kind of hard to find. So we do reviews too. We always want to do reviews on the comics, and we started with reviews, which, you know, we recently revamping how we do reviews now.
Mm-hmm.
But it is that's the kind of things we like, and I like those pieces where we get to talk to an artist and get inside their head about, you know, what they're creating and why they created it, and, you know, try to get people excited about these products.
Yeah, I was really happy with the idea of being like a little foreign correspondent, because I did a lot more shows.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to the thing that could not be. And it's one of those things. It's like I really enjoyed talking to creators.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good breakaway from the table, and it was a lot of fun to share just a little bit in their passion for the thing that they're making, and get some good interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah. Glenn Ford's a happy 4th of July. Alfie Fruins, how do you guys get work done with these videos going? Crazy impressive. Thanks, Alfie. We don't get any work done. No, we don't get any work.
Well, you get some work done. You don't get any comic work done.
No, I don't get any comic work done anymore. I used to.
But see, that's an interesting angle, because you decided to jump into this journalism enterprise, and obviously, anytime doing anything else is time away from drawing your books.
Mm-hmm.
How have you dealt with the push and pull? And it's going to create some sort of angst in you, that way you're passionate about this one thing, but then you're neglecting the thing you were originally passionate about, which was creating comics. How do you deal with that, and what is that like?
Very poorly. It does take a lot of time away, and it has cut into the amount of time that I'm able to draw my comic, work on my comics, work on my properties, which also is one of the reasons why I picked up other books at Last Call, because I realized, okay, this particular avenue is taking up a lot more time than I anticipated. So let me grab this person up and that person, and I'll try to put their content out, you know, so that my company is just sitting there doing, you know, nothing. But it's definitely, I mean, like, I find myself at this desk, at the computer desk, probably about 5 to 6 hours a day. And then, you know, if a story breaks, I got to be here. And
I stay way more than that.
Yeah. She stays.
There's moss growing around you.
Yeah. There really is. I mean, you can look around my desk and say, "Well, is that a food container?" It is. I haven't moved in 2 days. At one point, I mean, you guys are gonna laugh, but I could probably get myself a nice. When I was injured, I recently recovered from MRSA again, and I had a container to, you know, for the bathroom. If I had to, you know, had to urinate, and so I had to, because I couldn't walk. So and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, that could not. I mean, I can walk now, but that could save a lot of time. I could just, but yeah, it's a lot of time away from doing what you want to do. I stay up late. I get up early. It's not healthy.
No.
I think I average about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day. And then
TJ and I were talking earlier about, American exceptionalism and big companies and blue chips that have been really successful. And it all comes down to, we made the connection with a few of them that it's all about the CEO, the leader, the establisher of the company having this passion and not letting go of this passion. And that requires you to do the things like you just said. You go to bed late and you wake up early. Farmers have been doing that for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
And CEOs, people who are successful in business, they do that every day. They go the extra mile. They put in 80 to 100 hours a week on their project or more. One of the things I've learned is trying to be a small business person and get my dreaded dinosaur brain off the ground is, you're at work 24/7, it's hard sometimes to even go to sleep because you're thinking about that next project or what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
What is it about Indie Volt that helps you wake up early?
I and thank you, Ralph, by the way. Ralph says happy 4th and happy 3 years.
Thank you,
same to you, sir. For me, it's just, is today going to be that day where I find that story that I'm really able to sink my teeth in, or someone who writes it for, because we have a few writers, writes it, a story they're going to be excited about. That's what does it for me. I always get super excited about that. The growth helps, growth of the company. You if you see me glance over occasionally, I'll check my Twitter because I have, Twitter. I have stuff said about is news breaking? Do I need to send this to somebody? It does. That's what gets me up, and just getting up to, getting back to this table, and whether I know I gotta do something for the site or do some type of coding or pay for something. That's really what that's exciting. Exciting to see the company grow. It's exciting to see what comes next. And two, one of the things that we said, and unfortunately, I didn't coin the phrase, but we wanted to always go out there and inform people, not influence them.
Right.
And so I wanted to give you here's the straight dope.
Here's the facts. Make up your own mind.
Yeah. And it's hard to do that because there are some times that you're like, look, this person stole. We had a situation where someone stole the video game from an indie developer, and it's on the site, and that we couldn't post that you couldn't post it because the proof was there. You couldn't post it and be like, yes, well, allegedly. No, it was clearly this person stole. We try to stay away from a little bit more of the salacious things. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened in the industry, and we stay away from it just because it's like, everyone else is reporting that, or no one is, for good reason. So there's things like that. But we've been very lucky, because we've had that growth. We've moved into a couple different markets, a couple different ventures with Indie Volt, and those have been profitable.
So let's stay on the growth thing. You've got the website, you're doing the indie reporting, you're pretty much a one-man show. You and Lola, that's pretty much it at the beginning. What came next? Was it the streaming that came next? Was it the Roku channel? Was it the radio station? What came right after the website? What was your next step?
Oh, right after the website, there's actually, it's funny. JD says too ready for this. Before the website, actually, there was something for Indie Volt that never materialized that was going to. And there was actually talk about Indie Volt supply brand, art supplies.
Oh, okay.
And probably the supplies that I was sent. No, the ink wouldn't dry. I mean, listen, Eric, ink and markers when you ink a piece,
right?
you expect maybe in 10 minutes to be able to rub your hand across it.
That would be ideal. Yes.
Yeah. You expect in 3 hours at least to be able to rub your hand across it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. If I tell you it wasn't dry in 3 days.
What?
You're like,
what do we have to do? Leave it out in the sun? Bake at 350 before serving?
Yeah. It was that was rough. I think that the next thing that we launched was iNDIE TV, and iNDIE TV was launched because I've always had this weird dream of having my own television station. I think being a kid sitting there watching TV, you're like, I wish I controlled things. I put this on and I put that on, and having a streaming network made that possible. That was cool. That was just something that we, were able to, get done because, the technology now, and my education for the technology finally met where it was like, hey, okay, I can do this now. It's affordable now. It's not, I don't have to go out and buy 8 servers and, get a refrigerator.
Spy Tattoos chiming in saying, happy birthday. How do we administer spankings? Or did I miss that? The spankings will come periodically throughout the interview.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the TV was we started with like 6 movies between
now this is the Roku channel, correct?
Right.
That's the TV.
Right. Okay. Yep. iNDIE TV started with it was maybe like 4 or 6 movies up there. Werner June Entertainment, which we had 4 or 5 movies from them, and then Papa Zero by both companies. Werner June is owned by Brianna and Jeff Swarton, which we're gonna put her name first. They're getting married in a couple weeks, so her name's gonna go first from now on. And Matt Woodbury is Papa Zero. We had their content up, and it was some of the first. And then we start. We didn't put any of the iNDIE Vote videos up first because the iNDIE Vote videos, like live, actually came later. The YouTube channel came later. So the weird thing was that was like the first big success for us. The TV, I saw so much quick growth. I was kind of scared. And
really?
I was like,
so with the TV, how do you measure the growth with the TV?
It's measured on the server side.
Okay.
And luckily Roku provides you your numbers. And so I remember logging in and seeing with very little outside advertisement on our part, that we had like 900 installs.
Wow.
Within like the first month. And I'm like, I'm not expecting any, honestly. I'm expecting like 60, 70 installs.
You're just doing it because you want to do it, because you love it, the idea of it.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, we got all these installs. Crap, now I got to put content up there. So I'm going around talking to people and I'm putting content in and uploading it. And they kept growing. And I remember end of that year when I noticed we had 4,000 installs, I'm like, holy crap. What do we do now? And those are 4,000 active installs. And Roku is very good with showing you active installs, total installs, and they even show you uninstalls.
Really?
If you want your feelings hurt, check your uninstalls. Because you're thinking like, okay, I can understand an uninstall on an app. I get that. I recently launched the Last Call Comics app, and I understand uninstalls. You got, you don't have enough room on your phone. These apps take up a lot of space. I get that. So, but Roku, literally, you can't fill it up. So when you see an uninstall, you're like, that person just didn't like the content, right? And I want to know why. But there's a lot of reasons too. Roku's global, so we don't have a lot of content on our station that's can be translated over to English or away from English to any other language. So that's another reason why you get those uninstalls on there. But it's been It's been a real fun. Another influence for that, and I got to give this person credit. There probably would not be an Indie Volt TV if not for Hart Fisher. Because Hart was doing American Horrors, his station on Roku, which is a lot more advanced than mine because I believe his is streaming live. So you go to his, and it's like a television station. Although Hart is known to change it to what he wants to watch. So it's like, schedule be damned. I know I said it was going to be Attack of the Hairless Woman at 9, but now, nope, we're going to do this. But when I seen what he was able to do, it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And I did it at night, mind you. I did it at night. That was one of the promises I had made to Lola. I said, if I do this, I'll do it at night. I won't take away from any other thing.
It was a surprise to me.
Yeah. Was it a surprise to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I didn't even tell her. I just did it at night. That way, I couldn't be yelled at for taking time at the computer.
I woke up the next morning. Oh, guess what I did?
Yeah.
Launch the TV station. You what?
Yeah. It's you learn a couple things by streaming, and we're proud that we got a much. I think last I checked, we're at 30,000 installs.
Really? Wow.
And that's just on Roku. We're trying to launch on Amazon Fire Stick, but they're waiting to get back to us on approval because of that thing that cannot be mentioned.
Right.
They are running a skeleton crew in their approval department, and I think they actually sit back and watch every piece of content that goes through because that way they can make sure there's no.
Can you imagine if that was your job at Amazon, to just sit there and watch a bunch of crap?
Yeah, could you imagine? I mean, I put you guys in a movie recently, and I can imagine what having to watch that. Like, and it'd be your job. I mean, at least you're getting paid for it, but yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, it sounds like, things got off to a pretty good start, better than your expectations, which is always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then you decided to launch the YouTube channel. So was it the success of the TV channel that said YouTube, or you just figured you might as well cover all your bases?
Well, radio came next.
Oh, radio came next. Oh, okay.
Radio came next. And the radio, I don't know what the hell. Maybe it convinced me to do the radio. What possessed me to do the radio? I have no idea.
We did the radio station to support
the musicians. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because the thing is, you get friends in the industry.
And plus, you wanted to do a podcast at first.
Yeah, I was going to do a podcast, and I should mention that too. Indie Vote originally was going to just be a podcast. It was not going to be anything other than no website, no nothing. Just a podcast, and that didn't work out. But the radio station was, again, I think, one of those things that fell into my lap because I wanted to support. I knew people who were musicians, and I was like, well, we could maybe start putting music on our site. And I gotta tell you, once again, mission creep. We'll make a little small player. People can click on the website and hear this music if they want. Very early 90s, very what's it called? What was it? Netscape? Yeah, very MySpace.
Napster.
Yeah, Napster. We're just gonna put this content on it. I thought about maybe putting out a CD, getting these artists permission, doing a CD you can buy. It would support the artist. We split the money up between the artists, and somehow it became, you know what? Do a radio station. Just do a radio station, and here we are, a radio station, which Lola just took over curating all of the music because I got tired of it. It's a lot of work.
I do all the scheduling, find the music, all that stuff.
Niobe says Kazaa. That's something I haven't heard in years. Oh man, Kazaa. That was another peer-to-peer sharing platform. I remember Kazaa. JD says the best things are done at night, and he also says he has weird dreams too, but he can't talk about them.
Ooh.
Yeah. And thanks, Niobe, for coming in. Yeah, it was the YouTube though you asked about. I'd want to get into streaming, and just because it seemed like it was a lot of fun, and gosh, I think it must have been about it seems like years ago now. Even though I know it wasn't years, it just seems like it's been years since we first started.
Well,
It's been about
you've been doing so much, so the time just goes by.
yeah. It was just started because hey, well, you should probably stream. And I thought too, what's cool about streaming is that the content will be able to go, on the channel, on the Roku TV channel, and that's where it's been. That's what we've been doing. We've been putting the content, sharing it, over there. I think that and I had no idea. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what to do. I started it. I had no idea. Like I got online and we just Randy and I would just have like discussions, and Randy wasn't like I would bother Randy like, hey, could you come on and do this, and I'll show you guys something. If you want.
Yeah, please.
Ready, first one.
Oh gosh, this is embarrassing. All right, so Indie Vote has stuff you guys have not seen yet. We've got a news desk that we don't use. We've got an art desk for artist interviews. We got all this stuff that we do not use. It's all put away in storage because, I think we would have probably used some of it by now, but then that thing that cannot be mentioned happened. So I'm going to show you guys the pilot. Oh, let me make sure that that I'm sharing my stream's audio, my page's audio. I'm going to show you guys the first Indie Vote. Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. Here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Varian here for Indie Vote News. First show. Bear with me. What's going on in Indie Wrestling? Vehicle City Classic, which is in the Northridge Academy in Flint, Michigan. That's hosted by Pure Pro Wrestling. You can get tickets for that at pureprowrestling.net. The event starts at couple things about this. First of all, I want to bring up the fact that do you see like there is no there's no, first of all, that mic isn't plugged up. That's number one.
Yeah.
That mic is not plugged up. It's oh gosh. And what you'll know is that Lola is sitting on the floor on the side where the TV is at, and she has her laptop to that TV because that TV broke several years ago. The only thing it's good for is a display, like a computer display. So she's controlling it. So she's sitting on the floor, hunched in the like little corner, and she's gonna click the buttons. And I had to edit this. There's some hard cuts. Oh my goodness, it's almost embarrassing to watch. We talk about some stuff Source Point was doing. Chicago Comic-Con. We showed them a movie trailer, a comic book trailer. Yeah, that was for the book they were releasing, and it was yeah, the bloopers are funny. I'll never put those up because there's a lot of swearing. There's a lot of swearing in the bloopers. But so we kind of we didn't change that format. That was the first, and I the reason why I showed that is because I want to show you there was like every day I'm like, we got to get better. We have to get better. So I reached out to Seven Lions, which if you don't know them, they did the theme for SmackDown, WWE SmackDown, back in the early 2000s, and they gave permission to use their music for our intro, and we did. Let's see here, and we did, and it was really funny to do, but fun to do. But I'll show you guys this, and I know we're gonna wrap up here very soon because this isn't meant to be a very long show, but I'll show you guys this. Let me see. Where is my screen? Is so again, wanting to be to get better. And look how low I am. I'm gonna bring Rob Anderson in too. Rob's here.
Happy birthday.
And so that was our intro that we don't use. We don't use this intro. This is Indie Vote News intro, and we never use this. And it was a lot of fun to do it. I think it still looks cool. But it's so we want to get better even from that. Now, so did you see that soft fade in? Oh man,
Yep.
look at that! This name tag, electricity.
Your lower third has as much screen real estate as you do.
Yeah, it does.
You know what the problem with this is, though, and you learn as you're looking back, you're forgetting. This shit takes too long. It just does. You want to get to the news. You want to be able to do stuff. This is cool when you're first starting. If you go back and look at some of my earlier videos, there's so much higher quality video stuff. And people are like, well, why don't you do more with videos? I was like, do you know how long that shit fucking takes?
It does. It takes a while. You look at this, and I did have a lot of fun with it. I thought it looked great, but then it was, it was time consuming.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you want to have a staff to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Now,
that's when you start hiring interns to do that shit, and they actually sit there and do it for you.
Now, here's the last one I'll show you guys from our history, our Indie Vote history, and you guys are gonna laugh. Here's the first live stream. So here's the first live stream. Hangouts on air.
I miss Hangouts. There was something nice about Hangouts. The quality was better, the image quality.
Why am I so close to the camera? What's going on?
I thought it was a hostage thing. And why is Randy looking down at you?
Yeah.
He's probably got a little laptop or something in front of him.
Yeah,
You do look like you're being held hostage. You're like in a closet.
Yeah.
Blink if you're okay. Blink if you're okay.
It looked like later on I may have discovered that I was kind of weirdly positioned. So I moved the camera and you can look at this. Look at that mic.
Or the bridges.
I forgot Hangouts. You couldn't be on the screen at the same time. It's been so long since I used Hangouts.
Yeah. Wow. Look how. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, guys. So but we have grown. And we've gotten somewhat better.
So as we're trying to wrap this up, it's been 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all of us yahoos that are kind of coming in under your wing, and you're getting us, reporting and writing. We have the wonderful Randy Zimmerman pitching in. We have Rob, who's comes in from time to time. So tell me, as you're getting ready to cut your cake there, where do you want to see Indie Volt in the next 3 years?
Next 3 years. Oh man. Yeah. Lola says everywhere. You know what? We got some things we're doing. I mean, we got an indie drink coming out later, actually next month. We've got maybe this one too. It's July. Yeah. So got an indie drink coming out. We've got some other things. I'm gonna call it and say in the next 3 years we should have a quarterly magazine.
Wow. Okay.
In the next 3 years, we should have a quarterly magazine. In the next 3 years, now it may come out and fail because I've been told print is dead. I mean, even though I make comics, I've been told print is dead. But I'm thinking that's going to be it, and I would like to see Indie Vote TV continue to grow.
Absolutely. And so the last question I want to ask is, there's people out there who make independent content, who do independent movies, independent video games. You've touched on independent wrestling in the past, independent music. So Indie Volt seems like it's a really good place for independents to come get noticed and get circulated throughout your different media channels. How does somebody in any of these venues reach out to you to add their movie to their TV show, to come on stream, to get their book reviewed on the Indie Volt website? What's the process?
Well, the really cool thing is some of them are already doing it. They're reaching out to the Facebook, the Indie Volt Facebook. You can reach out to Indie Volt live at indievolt.com. Hey, you guys at indievolt.com. Varian at indievolt.com. Instagram, just social media, contact us, send it to us. It will get to me because we have people that watch those mailboxes for me, and they will get it to me. Sometimes Lola's in charge of, and then she monitors the Instagram, and they will put she'll send, hey, this person wants you to see this. So just keep doing that. Facebook us, send us requests. Hey man, let us, look at my book. And I've been getting some great content that way. Same way they send in questions.
All right, sounds good. Well, shall we sing happy birthday to Indie Volt, and you can blow out the candle?
Sure.
All
Sure.
right.
Ready? So
everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you. Sounds like a funeral. Come on. Happy birthday to you.
And it's uncopyrighted.
Happy birthday, Indie Volt.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
And many, many more.
Yeah. Here, Jax, you blow on the candle.
Well,
there you go.
Hey,
Hey.
right.
Good job. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Eric, thanks for interviewing me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you for, because it takes starting a business, whatever kind of business it is, it takes bravery, it takes patience, it takes stamina. I'm sure there's been a lot of fights between the two of you over Indie Volt in some fashion, because these things are hard to do. And you just really have to slug through it and push through. And congratulations on pushing through for 3 years. Congratulations on the growth. It's definitely earned. It's not something that's just come to you on a silver platter. And I look forward to being a part of it. And I think Rob would echo that too. We look forward to being a part of it in the next 3 years and beyond.
Yep. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking this journey with us. And we look forward to 3 more years of having this, content and this channel grow, and the website, and just, maybe even one day taking Wizard World Entertainment down and putting up Indie Volt. That'd be nice.
Do a series of conventions or stuff. Yeah, that'd be great.
Not with the same stop prices, though.
Yeah.
9 p.m. today.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Please.
1 second. What did you say? 4,000?
There's a couple of comments.
There were comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's get to those.
Yeah, I was seeing in the text. Heather says she dropped in and said hello. Good job, guys. Thanks. And then Spice says he was singing in text. So thank you guys for joining us. Eric, go ahead and send us out of here.
Yeah, please smash the like button and subscribe on the YouTube channel if you're not. Help us get to profitability. And thank you for installing the Roku TV app. And thank you for installing the Indie Volt Radio app, and all of our listeners across the world. Thank you so much. We look forward to bringing you more content each and every day in some form or fashion. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy.